Hello, I'm Rossella from Claritystamp. Today what I want to show you is what you get with our fabulous Clarity Lightwave. This is a wonderful item. I didn't need these until I had one, and then I can't do without it. It's absolutely fabulous. So what do you get? Well, it comes in a box, which is always great because it means it's easy to wrap if it's for a gift. And what you'll also get with it is you'll get some white foam, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So let's open the box, see what we've got. So it's really nicely, sturdily packaged for a start. So let's take that out. It's got a little handle, so it's like a handbag. And then there it is. So we've got our cable, USB cable, which means that if you go to craft group or you craft elsewhere in the house, if you've got one of those little portable chargers you use for phones and things, you'll be able to plug it into that as well. Plug it into your computer if you have a computer on your desk, or of course then into the actual power supply that comes with it. So you've got your power supply there as well. And then you've got your beautifully wrapped Lightwave. So if you want to store it back in the box, then pop the polystyrene back on there as well. And there it is. Now that's great, isn't it? What you'll notice is your Lightwave's really, really light. So in terms of weight, in terms of carrying around, it's perfect for that as well. It's really slimline as well, so that when you're using it, you don't have sort of your arm half on, half off, so it makes it comfortable. It's also a great size, so your plate mates are going to fit on that perfectly as well. I use mine not only for Groovi, not only for parchment, I use it for transferring my embroidery patterns, I use it for tracing as well, so whether you're an artist as well, it's really, really useful. So I'm just going to put the box out of the way. Now, I mentioned that you'll get the white mat with it, and that means that when you perforate shallowly, you're not touching your light panel on that as well. It is really, really sturdy anyway. But then we can accessorize it slightly as well. We do a product called Groovi Grip. Now this is fab. This is a sort of a cling material, which means that when you put things on your light panel, they're not going to slide around. So let's just place that onto there, and then we'll roll it round. Now this might take a moment. Oh, actually not as bad as I thought. Now you'll find that then when you put things like your plate mates on there, they won't move around. I've got a little grid here. The pressure stops it moving, so it's fantastic. So I'm just going to plug this in. All you need to do then is at the on-off switch, find the right side of the plug, and then you're just going to plug it in, and it'll go only one way. It's not that way, it must be that way. There we go. And then we'll plug that into the wall. I'll see you in a moment. Hello again, all plugged in now. You'll find you've got a touch control on your light panel. So if you touch it, it's going to go really, really light. If you touch it again, it's going to go dark. And then if you only want it on a little bit, hold it and then stop. Now I find that most of the time I have it really, really bright. However, when it's a bit dark and it's dark outside and I've only got artificial light inside, I have it dimmed ever so slightly, because otherwise I find it really, really bright. The other thing we talked about was the white mat on it. You'll find that when you've got your white mat on it, I'm just going to turn that off and then turn it back on, and there's no, you've still got the light coming through there. It doesn't block that light at all. I actually have another accessory on mine, and it's called super foam. So you can see the difference in the depth of the foam, and the reason I have that is that when I'm perforating on the light panel, it means that if I want to perforate fully, my tools aren't going to go through that super foam. So I tend to use that one on mine, and you can find that on the website, not a problem at all. One thing I do want to show you, if you are a traditional parcher and maybe you've got Pergamano multigrids, look at the difference when you're using a light panel, then the light that's going to come through that grid. So when you're perforating in these little holes, and these are fine grids, you'll find that the light's really going to come through there, it's really going to flood it as well. Now previously, if we wanted to use a dark parchment, we're really going to struggle without a light panel. So if I just turn this down, and you can see then how dark that is. So what we used to have to do was go to the window and do it. So actually using the light panel, it makes it so much easier. Look at that, I can see all the way through. So if you're using our designer parchment papers, maybe you're using black parchment, you'll find that actually with your light panel, it's a breeze, which means that you can get all those really lovely, cool effects very, very quickly. So I quite like this. This is Tina's henna plate that I'm using here. Beautiful, beautiful plate. And it just means that you've got then another string to your bow when creating your parchment art. In fact, if I just show you, actually I'm getting quite involved in that, if I just show you where we've got to on that, you can see then, let's take that from there, there's my black. Isn't that lovely and so easy to produce when you've actually got a light panel as well? And one last thing you'll probably notice, this has been on for a few minutes now, when you've been using your light panel, it stays cool. So it stays cool underneath, and then a little bit of heat around the edge, but not much at all, which means that you're not going to have to worry about where you're standing it. I hope that's made the light panel a bit clearer for you. Thank you for watching.